Welcome back. In effect, the war within has just began. The Dark Heart patch is screaming something at us that Alleria is key to Void's plan, that she may be Void's plan, like when everything is primed and ready to blow, that she is the ignition. And all of this is blasting out of a relatively short but very engaging patch 10.2.7 questline. So today I've got the biggest takeaways and the even bigger implications. Ethereals are back in a big way. Locus-Walker is maybe more powerful than he's let on, and xal'atath has made her first open move as the Harbinger. The war within is getting major foregrounding, and there is a lot to unpack, just like there will be a lot to unpack from the box you get from today's sponsor, HelloFresh, who I have been a customer of since 2019. And the reason is simple. I eat better, I eat tastier food, I stress less, I've got less shopping to do, there's less food waste, and I save money, which is a lot of really nice benefits. And if you also want those benefits, go to HelloFresh.com and use code BELLULAR to get a free dessert for life. Yes, each box that you get will have a free dessert item for the duration of your subscription, which is Bellular Sweet. Just click the link down below and that's the code. Now, your box will contain meals that you have selected from the weekly menu, and you can do it super easy in just a few seconds on the app. It's over 45 options a week. I always go for the quick meals, like say this delicious Chipotle corn and black bean soup. It was so damn tasty. Now, their quick meals are great. They're often one pot. They will even sometimes have like pre-chopped ingredients, so they're very, very quick and easy to put together. And for me, it's literally faster than ordering in food. It's cheaper than that. It saves me time shopping for groceries. And really for me, it removes cognitive load. And it means that I actually eat new things and consistently cook and, keep that skill set going. So for me, like, the cost-benefit analysis of using HelloFresh is a total no-brainer, and it's also a rather sweet one, given their free dessert for life offer that they're running right now if you go to HelloFresh.com and you use code BELLULAR, which, yes, will get you a free dessert item in each box while you're subscribed. For the whole duration of your subscription. It's code BELLULAR. Thanks to HelloFresh, and let's go. So here's the deal. Khadgar wants us to hunt down the Harbinger, and remember, we know that the Harbinger is xal'atath. We know all of this from BlizzCon, but our characters in Azeroth do not. So Khadgar gets his best hunter, Alleria, on the case. But that's not just it. He, of course, knows of her connection to the Void. He needs her to find the Dark Heart, which he speculates to be a prototype of the Dragon Soul that Neltharion ended up abandoning. Now, a quick lore recap there. So, the inspiration to make the Dragon Soul, that was given to Neltharion by N'Zoth, and the Dragon Soul was meant to be this receptacle of immense power, enough to hold the essences of the 5 Dragonflights, and it played a really, really big role during the War of the Ancients, and later, of course, in the Cataclysm expansion. This Dark Heart, then, is a similar item that was in Neltharion's keep. Now, during the Dragonflight expansion, Iridikron found it on the Forbidden Reach. He later used it as a key to Aberrus, and then it was brought back in time to suck up the essence of Galakrond. And as one prophecy put it, quote, "A hunger lost to the ages will be reclaimed." That hunger, of course, is whatever was within Galakrond, and that power, of course, will become very relevant indeed in the next expansion. So, Alleria is on the case. She jumps through void portals to Telogris Rift, which is where the Riftwalkers have reported void anomalies throughout Azeroth. But as soon as they show up to investigate, suddenly it's all clear and everything looks fine. And that's the problem. Alleria is never quite on time until she finally figures out how to get ahead of their target, and that is where the whole madness comes in. So we find Shadowguard Ethereals at the gates to Ulduar. They have a huge cosmic void portal that's leading straight to Eradath. Now, Eradath is where Alleria fully committed herself to the void by absorbing Lura, a Naru who had fallen into its void cycle. And of course, that portal was there for a reason, and Eradath is a trap. What's actually happened is xal'atath has set up a bit of a trial for Alleria, one designed to test just how in control of the void Alleria is. Now, before we continue, there's a very important part of the Legion expansion that you've got to know about. So, whenever the priest, who of course was wielding xal'atath, back when xal'atath was, in a dagger, whenever the priest went to Argus and then went to the city of Eradath and did the dungeon seat of the Triumvirate, at the end of that dungeon, of course, Alleria absorbed Lura. What matters here, though, is that when that happened, xal'atath whispered to her wielder, "The caterpillar has become the butterfly. She is all but ours now." And I think that really does show that Alleria is key to xal'atath's plan. I suppose the idea there, caterpillar turns into a butterfly, and then the butterfly has got a very important job to do before, it no longer needs to be a butterfly and can be dead. And I think a bit of that analogy is that Alleria is the butterfly, and what's going to happen? Well, evidently something that xal'atath wants, and that is why xal'atath is further pushing her down her path. On Eridath, Alleria faces a series of memories on her path toward the Void, and the final memory is admitting to Turalyon that she is touched by the Void. Now, in reality, and as covered in the 1,000 Years of War audiobook, Turalyon accepted Alleria, but in this memory, he kills her, and this sends Alleria rather spiraling. Her weakness essentially is revealed. It is rejection by her family. So it's back to Telogris Rift after this horrible business has happened, and there we find the armies of the Harbinger have attacked, including Void Elves, Dark Lost Draenei from Argus, and the Shadow Guard Ethereal. But throughout Telogris are the spirits of some interesting, yet minor background characters. They're mortals that xal'atath used and abused on her path to power. First, we have Xando, a troll witch doctor from before the First Troll Empire. Now, he used xal'atath to awaken a buried Cathraxi general and his Akir armies, and this led to the Troll War, right? And it's that Troll War that really solidified the dominance of the Zandalari Empire. But the real consequence here was the Drakari trolls chasing the Akir to Northrend, where the Akir then burrowed deep and slowly evolved into the Nerubians. And Nerubians are, of course, xal'atath's allies and one of our main antagonists in the next expansion. Next is Modgud, the Dark Iron sorceress who cursed Grimbatol, leading to its dark legacy. And of course, if you'll notice, in Season 1 of The War Within, Grimbatol is one of the dungeons that Blizzard are resurrecting, so that's basically the plot connection there. And it seems that a curse similar to that is what created the Skardan, who we haven't seen yet, but they are the void-corrupted earthen that infest the ringing deeps of Khadgar. Finally then, we have Natalie Celine, whose teachings infested the Church of the Holy Light with void worship, and that led to many bishops, including Benedictus, joining the Twilight's Hammer, many of whom we dealt with in Cataclysm. So, many examples of people being xal'atath's unwitting pawns. And if this all seems like crazy out there speculation, nope, it's all true. We did a video deep diving into the history of xal'atath that you should definitely watch after this one. But for Darkheart, we're not just being shown xal'atath's history, we're being shown all the people that she used to get what she wants. Natalie Celine literally says there are many voices from the Void, but hers is loudest of all. And xal'atath is the loudest voice of the Void, and she uses it to make other people do what she wants. So what's going on right now? Alleria is basically jumping through xal'atath's hoops. She set out to find the Harbinger and the Darkheart, but she's actually just being played with, shown her weaknesses. Finally, she faces the memory of Turalyon, but just as things heat up, the most bizarre thing happens. Locus-Walker appears, and when he does, he shouts xal'atath, "It's time to leave," which is odd. xal'atath then says that she has overstayed her welcome and leaves. The Turalyon memory disappears and all is quiet. And this is really big. Locus-Walker tells xal'atath to leave with authority and she obeys. And that obviously means we have huge questions to ask about Locus-Walker. So let's talk about him. Locus-Walker tells Alleria that she is unbalanced, that she needs to accept who she is, or she'll lose everything she loves. That's pretty much the same thing that he has been telling her since they first met when Alleria fought alongside the Army of the Light. He essentially preaches that she is of the Void now, but she does not have to lose herself to it, she has to control it. Now in a recent deep dive video on the Ethereals, we speculated that Locus-Walker was more than he seemed. That's a super obvious statement, right? I mean, he's mysterious, but the options for what he actually could be are kind of weird. Because like now we see him not only reveal to us for the first time who the Harbinger is, in xal'atath, but he straight up tells xal'atath to leave, and then she does. So how does Locus-Walker have so much knowledge of the Void, and also authority? I mean, was he the Harbinger of his own planet, of Koresh? Could that tie into that? Has he reached the perfect point of void balance and become almost a godlike figure in his own right? Is he Dementius, or an aspect of a Void Lord masquerading as this Locus-Walker character, helping Alleria walk a path towards total Void domination? As we've established, Alleria is key to Void's plan, and whether or not she can master what she has inside maybe isn't the point. The point is more, I think, that she's primed and ready to do whatever Void needs her to do. She's been set up, now she just needs to fall, and it does seem that a lot of that fear and doubt will somewhat guide her character in the next expansion from the snippets that I've seen. And then Locus-Walker, he's been there at literally every fundamental step, guiding her towards his vision of the void, one of balance and control. So whose side is he on? What's actually happening? I mean, the point is, Alleria is key to xal'atath's plan, Locus-Walker got her there, and he probably has something in mind for Alleria himself. And I suppose with this, we gotta talk about the overall saga, because by quest's end, we're actually no closer to the Dark Heart, but at least everybody knows who the Harbinger is. It does kind of make me consider something. These quests will sort of need to be slow. It'll need to tease out the details. Darkheart is the final patch of Dragonflight, and in reality, of course, it's the beginning of this whole World Soul saga thing that Blizzard are doing. So with something so mighty, I think you need more than the traditional pre-patch. And I suppose what we're seeing here today feels as grounded and self-evident as a big cosmic story of this scale actually can be, and that it really is rooted in these characters. But again, we only just got to scratch the surface on this topic. I do think, though, this is pretty much extremely key stuff, but what I do appreciate is that when Alleria continues to grapple with all of this stuff in War Within, it's not going to seem like a big out-of-left-field thing for us as players, because we've actually played somewhat of a prologue, right? So I think that is a pretty big leveling up in Blizzard's storytelling. Anyway, there is further reading in this, and luckily for you, we've got two huge videos you should check out next. One is detailing the entire history of xal'atath, and the other is detailing the fall of Koresh, which appears to be the same doom that our planet now faces. And if you subscribe to the theory that Locus-Walker is perhaps the harbinger of everything that happened in Koresh, then maybe you'll appreciate that video even more. Anyway, that's it for me. Please do let me know, what are your big theories on this? I would love to hear, love to read them down in the comments. With that said, thanks to HelloFresh for sponsoring today's video, and I'll see you next time.